My Two Blankets by Irina Cobalt. Have you ever moved to a new place? It was probably a pretty scary experience. Now imagine if you moved to a new place, but everything was so different and strange. Everyone spoke a different language, everyone looked different, the food was different. Everywhere you looked, nothing seemed the same. Cartwheel and her family had to move to the United States because their home was no longer a safe place. And her new home was so strange and different that it kind of was making her feel very alone and cold. And so what she would do, she would remember her home language and sounds and remember what home was like, and it felt like kind of like a warm blanket. And it would comfort her and she'd feel safe again. Well, one day at the park, she meets a little girl who waves and smiles at her. But Cartwheel doesn't smile back at first. Eventually, she sees the girl again, and she does smile and wave back, and they start to play together. And this new friendship is exciting but scary for Cartwheel. And even though her blanket of home makes her feel safe and warm, her new friend makes her feel like maybe she needs to have a new blanket. If you read My Two Blankets, you'll get to enjoy a story of acceptance and friendship. Baseball, it's America's pastime. What if someone told you you couldn't participate in your favorite activity? That is what Lizzie Murphy was told. Baseball was for boys, not for girls. And in the 1900s, it was unheard of for a girl to be on a baseball team. But Lizzie didn't let this stop her. Every chance she got, she wanted to play baseball. She fought with the boys to be on the baseball team. So she proved to her brother and his friends that she was good and was good enough to play on their baseball team, but she had to keep proving to everyone else. As she became an adult, her mother told her again that baseball was not for girls, that men and women needed to be in separate roles. So she tried to listen to her mother, and she stuck to watching baseball. But she just knew she had to play, and she couldn't give it up. She was so determined she wanted to play on a semi-professional team or maybe even a professional team one day. So she had to make a choice. Was she going to give up on her dream of playing baseball, or was she going to demand the rights of men and have the opportunity to play baseball? If you read Queen of the Diamond, the Lizzie Murphy story by Emily Arnold McCulley, you'll learn the true story of Lizzie Murphy and her journey of how she became Queen of the Diamond. Follow the Moon Home, a tale of one idea, 20 kids, and 100 sea turtles by Philippe Cousteau and Deborah Hopkinson. Why were you going the wrong way, little one? Vivian wondered when she discovered a baby turtle that never made it to the ocean. When Vivian started her new school, the teacher gave them a challenge. They needed to find a problem to solve. And discovering a baby turtle in the sand that never made it to the ocean, Vivian knew that this had to be a problem to solve. So first she had to do some research and figure out how do baby turtles lose their way. And then she had to think of ways that she could help. So with some hard work and support from community, the students made a plan, and they were able to made a plan to ensure safe travel for these little turtle hatchlings that needed to find the water. Read how 20 students can become an advocate for herds of turtle hatchlings. Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate. There's always a logical explanation, I told myself, and as part of me, the scientist part of me, really wanted to figure out what was going on. That was Jackson speaking. Jackson feels that everything can be explained. However, when his imaginary friend Crenshaw shows up, he's not able to logically explain how or why he's there. Especially because Crenshaw is not an ordinary imaginary friend. Things have not always been very difficult for Jackson and his family, but his dad became sick and lost his job, and so they were having trouble with having enough money for food and clothing and rent, and this continues to be a problem. Now, he's worried about his family's future, but he tries to look on the bright side, which is not easy because he's always hungry, and he has to explain to his sister why they have to sell most of their belongings, and things are just continuing to get worse. When things are becoming worse, his unlikely friend shows up. his imaginary friend Crenshaw. Although he's not able to explain it, Jackson thinks he might be going crazy. Or perhaps Crenshaw is there for a very reasonable explanation.